Love it. Well, thanks for being here, everybody. Welcome to our monthly Kennedy Oliver Juice Plus Men's Call. The title might be a little bit misleading. This is not just for men, as you can see. There's plenty of ladies on here as well. And really the idea behind this was to have a place where the guys in the business could bring prospects, talk about their experience, share their stories, their successes, and more than anything, teach everybody for guys that this is a real deal. And even if you have a different job, it's important to support your spouse or your significant other in this business. So this is for people that don't quite get it yet, the significant others that don't necessarily support their other their partner. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. We're very lucky tonight. We've had some amazing speakers along the way, so we're very blessed to have that. But tonight we're very blessed to meet Ron Watkins. Ron is the Vice President of Field Support for Juice Plus, and got to meet Ron in Memphis a few months ago. I was at Q School. Thankfully, I got to go with my wife, Andy, to Q School, which was an amazing experience. And Ron invited us all over. He and his wife invited us all over to his house for a pool party where we were serenaded with Johnny Cash tunes by the president himself. So, Ron, thank you for being here. As I mentioned, he's the president of Field Support for Juice Plus, and has been in this position for over 20 years, although he's been involved with the company for more like 35 plus years in a couple different capacities. But listening to distributors' ideas and how to turn those ideas into business building programs is his specialty. He travels extensively throughout North America, taking the Juice Plus story, the synergy and simplicity of it all, message to over 100 plus town meetings each year. He's often referred to as the coach and slates himself as the messenger, not the message. In 2007, he was awarded the Founders Award. If you don't know what that is, that's the highest award in our company. So congratulations, Ron, and we are ready for some knowledge. Still need to unmute, Ron. We're good.
We okay?
Yep.
Let's see. Some reason we're not. Share. Am I muted?
Nope, you're good, Ron. We can hear you.
And okay. So let me see why we're not getting any movement on my PowerPoint. Hang on a second.
Yeah, we can see it just fine. It's just not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere, right? So let's see.
You can try to stop share and then share it again. Sometimes that works.
Okay. We're getting close, maybe. We ready? Can you hear me? I'm unmuted. Well, once again, thanks everyone for being on the call tonight. A couple of things. Some of you, this probably is repetitious, but I'm a big believer that repetition is not always bad. As a company, this obviously 2017 is our 47th year. We've done over 13 billion in sales. We are a privately held company, not a publicly held company, and we're very proud of this number, which we believe has given us the experience and the history to show the fact that we are solid and looking to the future. We operate now in over 20 countries. That number changes a little bit, but just understand that throughout these 47 years that we've come to realize one thing for sure, and that is that our business follows population lines. So obviously in the U.S., just that's an easy one to think about, easy one to compare. California is our largest state in terms of production. It's also the largest state in terms of population. Texas is right on the edge of California as far as the numbers, Florida being the next, Georgia, and then again just following the population. And I'll tell you that to kind of get you to look into the future a little bit. The real future is in the future. We are operating again in these countries, but when you look at the countries we are not operating in, like India and China and South Korea and others there, and then of course South America as a whole, we haven't even scratched the surface. So we're excited about going forward. People say, well, when are you going to open those countries? Well, it's an expensive process. It's a manpower process. It's something you've got to deal with regulatory issues in every country, some more difficult than others. But we're really excited about where we are. We cross the T's and dot the I's, and we believe that has benefited us and you, those especially that have been involved for a long time. And we're mission driven. Because people at times will say, well, are you money driven, product driven, or are you, what really is your focus? And it really is the fact that we are mission driven. As I'll come back to, and that simply means that our focus is on helping others improve their health and improve their financial position. The house that Juice Plus built, that's just to show you, this is the global headquarters now. Everything is in process of operating completely under the umbrella here in Collierville, Tennessee, just outside of Memphis. And this building, we moved in 2005. One thing you cannot see, but we think is significant, but we also believe in some old sayings that have withstood the test of time, and that is you lead by example. The day we moved into this building, November 2005, the building was paid for, no debt. We think that's important because we think most people aspire to have their mortgages paid for, to be able to make decisions. Jeff Roberti said once, and I thought it was a very good analogy. He said, money's not everything, but it gives you the opportunity to say no because you want to, not because you have to. And to me, that's an exciting position to be in. Current global footprint, you see, as I mentioned, Jay said that his vision was in the beginning to build a stable and lasting company to help as many people as possible realize their dreams. And as Greg alluded to a few minutes ago, and I appreciate that introduction, but it's not about me. And the great thing is it's not about you either. We've got a great product, a great company, a great story to share with people, and we need to do that and let them make their own decisions. I believe that it's our responsibility simply to give people enough information on which they can make their informed decision. And therefore then they take ownership, and that's why we have such longevity. That's why our numbers in terms of people that have started with us and stay with us are so phenomenally high. We're excited about that. But Jay, by the leader that he is, he would tell you very quickly that he's not a visionary. He'll tell you that, things happen and happen for a reason. But the realization is, over the course of time, he has essentially re-established, re-identified, restarted this company three major times without really a huge hiccup. And that's, most people never get the chance to do one of those. But I tried for a long time to put together a message that explained my feelings about Jay somewhat from a different vantage point than most people have. But I realized pretty quickly, and I did that by having conversations with a lot of people like those of you on the phone that maybe whether it was me not explaining it properly or you not, or whoever not listening very well, or retaining what was said. So I've always looked around, and it really is one of those things that kind of was right in front of us. So I'm going to show you something here for a second. It's less than 4 minutes long. Again, always take a little bit of a step back and swallow here for a second, make sure and hope that it works, because technology is, as I always say, is great when it does work. But this encapsulates, no pun intended, the history of this company in just a little over 3 minutes and 50 seconds. You can find this video in Juice Plus at juiceplus.com. You can find it on the web. You can find it on the virtual office, but I would say the simplest place, go to juiceplus.com, go across the bar to the right, About Us, drop down, and you'll see our story. And so let's take a look at this, and I would encourage you to look at it again later on. If maybe you hear something that you say, well, I'm not sure I think that's right. Well, the best thing for you to do is do your own due diligence, do your own homework. So let's take a look.
There's an old Chinese proverb that a 1,000-mile journey begins with a single step. That's certainly true of one particular step taken back in 1993 by a school teacher turned entrepreneur named Albert J. Martin. It was a single step that launched what has become a multi-billion-dollar international brand and started millions of people around the world on their own life-altering journeys to better health. It was a single step that ensured J. Martin's young direct sales company in Memphis, Tennessee, became the stable and lasting business he'd always dreamed of, and helped thousands of other mission-driven entrepreneurs realize their own dreams. It was the introduction of a new and completely unproven product concept that involved putting fruit and vegetable juice powders into convenient and inexpensive capsules. It was the introduction of Juice Plus, the single step that started what has now become a more than 20-year journey. Jay's own journey started well before 1993, of course. In 1970, shortly after graduating from the University of Georgia and teaching high school history for a year, he decided to take the lessons he'd learned as a part-time cookware salesman and start his own company, selling in-home fire detectors years before they were mandated by building codes. In the 1980s, he shifted the company's business to selling air and water filters, responding to growing public interest in drinking purer water and breathing cleaner air. Then, in 1993, Jay and his direct sales company took that single step that started the amazing journey we find ourselves on today, launching a brand new product in a whole new product category that took the nutritional world by storm. He made Juice Plus a brand supported by solid clinical evidence and not just personal testimonials. He created a whole new business model to fuel its steady growth. He helped parents struggling with their children's nutrition by creating an innovative new program called the Juice Plus Children's Health Study. And he attracted thousands of doctors and other health professionals to the cause and encouraged them to get involved in the business. Jay made sure that every single sale of Juice Plus was always credited to the company's representatives, wherever that sale may have come from. Most importantly, he empowered thousands of people all over the world to make a difference in the lives of others, one family at a time, and realize their own dreams in the process. And he always made sure that the company behind the product was something that every Juice Plus representative could be proud of, operating with honesty and integrity in every facet of its business. We're now more than 20 years along our Juice Plus journey, with no end in sight. In fact, we expect we'll be inspiring healthy living in families around the world for generations to come, thanks in large part to the vision and the leadership of our president and founder and friend, Jay Martin.
So I would encourage everyone on the call to take a look at that, no matter where you are, whether you've been involved with us or just taking a look or have questions or concerns, whatever. One thing that makes it what I do very easy today versus in years past is we're way beyond trying to convince anybody of anything. We know where we are. We see everything that's happened. We've got all the documented evidence about the product. We're beginning to now be much more forthright about the business opportunity because we also have all the data to back that up. And we just say it's not a get rich quick. You're not going to get involved and be wealthy tomorrow. Just like you're not going to take the product tonight and leap over a tall building tomorrow. But you can do whatever fits your needs and whatever, as Jay said, to realize your own dreams going forward. And then also I think it's important to look at the top management because leadership does begin at the top. Paulo Teixeira came with us in 2008. That in itself is a story. He born in Brazil, educated in Brazil and Switzerland, came to the U.S., became a CEO of an international privately held company, and he did his requirement in terms of helping the family, the next generation be ready to step in. They did. He stepped out and decided that he wanted to do a number of other things besides business, but little did he know at that time when he was chairman of the board of the Boys and Girls Club in the Memphis market that he would meet Jay Martin. Then he said in a short time he did something that became the smartest thing he'd ever done in business, and that was he recruited, along with a couple of his board members, he recruited Jay into the Boys and Girls Club. 2 years later, Jay recruited him to be the CEO of the Juice Plus company. So he said that was the greatest thing. But I think more importantly, when you get to know Paulo, you see what he brings to the organization, and it's pretty phenomenal. He and Jay, to me, Jay, a few years ago, somewhat passed the baton in terms of day-to-day activity to Paulo, even though they are together every day. And it's kind of like the tandem bike. He said, I put Paulo up front, and I'm riding in the back. I'm pedaling, and Jay and Paulo's guiding. And what a great thing that is. But in conversations early on with Paulo, one of the first things I wanted to know, as well as others wanted to know, some of you in maybe even on this call, but particularly our leadership in the field, they wanted to know, how does he perceive us? And I asked him, and without any hesitation, Paulo said, first and foremost, without our reps, there's no need for us. And I knew then that he realized. And then not too long after that, I had an opportunity to have a conversation with one of our key leaders, and I said to her, you know, you've always done well, but it seems you've got a new glitter, you've got a new commitment. What's that all about? She said, well, I had the opportunity to have dinner with Paulo along with 4 other NMDs at one of our large events in Dallas. And he said, Paulo said to us, ask me anything you want to ask me, because you may not get the opportunity again real soon, because I'm trying to get around to meet all your peers around the country and around the world. So she said, and being a registered dietitian, she totally understood the relationship between whole food and nutrition, but she also understood what this business means in terms of the return on investment of your time. And so she said to him, what's the most significant thing? What's your real focus in your day-to-day job? And he said to her, and I think this kind of brings it all together, my primary job is to make sure that Juice Plus is here for your children's children. And if you think about that, that takes everything into account. Honesty, integrity, quality, all those all those things that are so important to us. And then last but not least, more recently, he said, I see us reimagining our company as a hybrid, supported by social media, accelerated as we go forward. These are exciting times, and you may or may not be aware. There's a lot of talk about it because it's we're well into the that commitment and that exciting opportunity that we're bringing everything in terms of re-imaging the IT department. Everything will run out and from one location here in Tennessee, so that it'll be just as easy to sign someone up in Milan, Italy tonight as it is to sign the person up in Colorado Springs if you're in Denver or whatever the case might be. So we're looking forward to that also. And then you hear us talk about more recently the core values. And in a conversation with Paulo, I was personally, maybe some of you feel the same way, I wasn't sure exactly how that fit together. So coming out of this conversation with him recently, he said, really, we've put, instead of 6 core values, we put 6 words together that define our beliefs, our culture, and our values. And I would encourage everyone on this call to take ownership of these, to digest these and to massage these and see what it really means to you. But longevity, that's something we have 47 years of, but we plan to go another 47 years. You look at authenticity, know what you do and be aware of it, but be able to explain it to someone. Quality, you can't do anything without quality, whether it's, doing a brochure, doing a video, having something on the web, whatever it might be. Community, giving back to the less fortunate. We know that the public today expects that from successful organizations. Simplicity, simple enough, but no simpler. But make sure that anyone can do this. We know that everyone won't. That's human nature. But make sure that it is simple enough that you can feel comfortable, that there's no prerequisite in terms of education or experience to be involved. And then approachability. Make sure as we do, that we're willing to be open and discuss, excuse me, anything and everything about the business. You look at the foundation, the 10 million meals program that's now through the Volunteers of America and the Children's Hunger Fund. Growing Up, the Boys and Girls Club. There's almost 5,000 Boys and Girls Clubs in the U.S. and in Canada, in North America as a whole. And then the St. Jude Marathon, which is just a few weeks away. But you look at some of this, we're over 850,000 meals going forward. The Boys and Girls Club, we have 500 tower gardens because we're making sure that we have someone committed from our team, from the Juice Plus family, to make sure that is successful in that Boys and Girls Club. And then the marathon is pretty unique. We started out in 2002. That year, 1,000 runners and $100,000 was raised. But look at these numbers. 10 million raised last year, 2016. And here we are coming up within a few weeks of 2017, which we're excited about that. Those of you that are not familiar, you might want to Google and see St. Jude. They've already got their footprint in place. Everything, all the codes are there now that they're going to double their size. They were just recently named the #1 children's hospital in the world. So it's pretty significant. You see the kinds of people that we together, you and I, the Juice Plus family, the team, the reps, work together to help. What makes Juice Plus so unique? It's pretty simple. 20 years of research. Would encourage everyone. Now we have the summary that's available, so you can quickly look at the different locations, the protocols, all that's happened. We're talking about institutions that I would say that the majority of people recognize, more than one even, many times. But also when you've got people like MD Anderson coming back for the second time in terms of wanting to be involved in a follow-up piece of research, or other institutions maybe as many as 3 times. So we're excited about the future there. But you know, it's the most research product of its kind in the world. Again, we're not here tonight to prove anything to anybody. This is not bragging about it. These are facts. It's documented evidence. We just say to people, go take a look. And but recently, to be sure and to protect our brand, we now have a stamp that we're requiring people. We're saying to people, let's make sure, if there's any question, that people know that we're basing these on facts, not on fiction. There's no hype, no exaggeration needed, or those type things will not be accepted or tolerated by the company. And so we must protect our brand. So I sort of take this from the Homeland Security. If you see something, say something. If somebody is trying to exaggerate or say something that you feel like they shouldn't about the product, we need to share that with the corporate office so that can be followed up on. Because the only way anything, in our opinion, that can be negative is that something comes from inside, not outside. And then you got the franchise. Obviously, what people are looking for, they're looking for financial, they're looking for recognition, they're looking for time freedom. And just like with the product, we now have a stamp of protection, if you will, with and for the income side, that it's not about everybody, but everybody can do it. That's that simplicity. You see how these dots connect back to each other. And don't ever forget Jay's words. And I think this, to me, summarizes the mission and the possibilities and the future opportunities that exist, when he said that there are many ways to make money, but only a few ways to make a real difference. So I would just challenge people and say, think about that. Where else can you have the opportunity to share with people where they can have a positive effect on their health and also their financial position? Big picture support, just like any good company with a good product makes a product, we process the orders, we ship direct to the customers. But that's kind of where we then separate ourselves in terms of we collect the payments. We don't want anybody involved in this team, this effort, this sharing of Juice Plus, and also in collecting of money. That's not anybody's responsibility but ours. And we tell you, let us handle that. And then you look at, we manage and protect, and then you look at how we pay the team that is responsible for that growth. So when you look at all these things, it really is, the best way I can describe it, I believe, is that, as I tell people often, probably now 15 years ago, one of our national marketing directors was doing a talk, and I happened to be in the meeting, and she said something that kind of took me back. She said, I call this the yellow brick road. And I thought, now I really don't get that. But she went on to say, which made total sense if you think about it, it breaks it down to the simplest common denominator. She said that if you think about the yellow brick road stands for a fairy tale. And that's really what we had at one time. But now our fairy tale has become a reality. And not many times do you have that opportunity. Our new support, you look at the new areas with 4 different regional directors, our new VP of Sales, Janet Black, and then Tanya Oxley taking on her new role as the Senior Director of Business Development, Karen Jones most recently with her Brave Leaders program. And then the customer account access. There's a lot of things here. Everything's seamless. You can take a look at all of it. You're not going to remember it all. But I just want you to see there's so many pieces to this puzzle. When you put it all together, you can see that each piece strengthens the future. Expectations, experience, and flexibility. So that the customer feels like that, you know what, this has got to be a good product. They wouldn't give me that much control if it wasn't. And then the Tower Garden, which I mentioned earlier with the Boys and Girls Club, you're going to see highly visible farms increasing, seedling suppliers, unique applications all through the educational system as we go forward. And then kind of looking here as we come to a close, the Juice Plus company, the product, and the business model, we have been successfully putting this together synergistically. So each piece, again, helps support and strengthens. But we've got something real unusual that I believe it's very difficult at times to explain to someone on the outside, but each one of us has that opportunity, and that is that we are able to look at something and say, you know, something exists in this company that it does not exist anywhere else. And I would suggest to you, this is not the only defining way to put this, but it is a fairly decent one, I think, that we are immersed in a culture unlike any other, made up of authentic, cause-driven, passionate individuals. And again, like other things I've said a little earlier, I would encourage you to take a look at that and then just think about, are these not the kind of qualities of people you would want to associate with, have your family members, your children, your grandchildren be involved with going forward? So in the future, might Juice Plus play a role in helping you or someone you know realize your dreams? In Indianapolis, we have the Brave Leaders, which we're excited about, the new Insights program. We look at field events, the 4 summits coming in 2018. And of course, by the way, don't forget 2018 is the 25th anniversary of Juice Plus. So you're going to see a lot of things happening. Spring retreat, the elite leadership, and then you look at the global event looking forward to 2019. And then we've got the Wellness Plus program, which is formerly known as the PSP. We're really excited about this one going forward because we think we have figured out where the glitch was that kept it from being a sleeping giant that it is and it deserves to be. Write down, save the date, April 25th through the 28th in Phoenix for the spring conference. So sort of in closing here, if you saw anything you like, I would encourage you to do your own homework, your own due diligence, mine, and dig deep, because I want you to see if this really makes sense to you so that you then can share it with other people. It won't make sense to everybody, but who doesn't want to have better health? Who doesn't want to have an opportunity to do something for the good of others? So I suggest to you that the best is yet to come. So thanks for being on the call. Thanks for having me. And it's been a real pleasure. Greg, I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, that was great, Ron. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Definitely took a couple pages of notes here. I mean, what a better way to get excited about what we do and the possibilities. So people on the phone, this is new to you or you're considering joining. I thought this was a perfect way to get excited about a company by showing where we have been, where we are now, and where we're going, which is, as Ron said, the most exciting part. The best is yet to come. So with that, Ron, I know you just had a few minutes for questions. I did want to ask you, typically if I have somebody on here who's a distributor, national marketing director, I ask them, what are the 3 things that you do on a daily basis to make sure that you have a successful business? And I'm wondering kind of what that looks like from the corporate side. How do you guys from your side see people as running a successful Juice Plus franchise?
Well, it's a great question. Ironically, this was what we call meeting week. We started at noon on Monday and just finished this afternoon about 2 o'clock. And it was a marathon of meetings, and we dissect, and there's no rules. Everybody gets to present whatever they want to present, and we found that the best place those ideas come from are from the field. But we had come up with an idea that really just circles around the 3 points, and well, let's just call it the big three. And the big three are, first of all, find a buddy. Jay has said this for years and years and years. Someone you can celebrate with, someone you can cry with. You know, this is like life. Everything's not perfect, but the successes will far outweigh anything else. So it's not a matter of it's not shameful to fall down. It's shameful not to get back up. And that's where you need the buddy with you to encourage you and to challenge you, and also for you to share your commitment and so forth with. The second one, we believe, is now healthylivingrevolution.com. We'd encourage everybody to go take a look, because it's phenomenal, the resources that surround this program. Shred 10 has become a household word for lots and lots of people today. So that's the second part. The third one is that when you've got the buddy, you've got the Healthy Living Revolution, is take advantage of the new product, the Juice Plus Omega. We already see exceptionally good results and surveys on terms of the individuals and what they see happening with them. But also, this product, as you'll see, unlike the other products, the other encapsulated products, this is a product that's actually, the label is a supplement label. And the reason for that is that it's the only way you can compare, because of the Food and Drug Administrations and all the different regulatory agencies. You put so little on a food label because food is food. But in this case, we wanted to be able to let you compare people that have taken the fish oils and people that are taking the omegas in different forms for a long time. They believe in it, they see the successes, but when they put it side by side, it's going to be exceptionally excited. And just understand what it is, and you just need to say to them, just educate yourself. The only reason anybody's going to say no to this approach is because they'll say no, N-O, because they don't know, K-N-O-W. And that's always been the case with all of our products. So once again, I wish everyone the best. Hope you have a great holiday season coming up. And 2018, I believe we're going to take the whole business aspect of the Juice Plus family to an entirely higher level.
Good stuff. Thanks again, Ron. Just a couple of quick things. We are not going to do a call in December with respect to the holidays. We'll be back the second Thursday in January with Hans Finzel, the best-selling author. He and his wife are in Juice Plus. Donna is the national marketing director, so we're excited about that in January. And we'll be in touch with all you guys and make sure that information gets out to you. In the meantime, I know I'll see some of you, but for those of you that I won't see, very happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, Christmas, and of course, best time of the year is coming up. It's time to let it snow.
Well, thanks again for having me. And Lisa, thank you for all your support, and just made me feel comfortable seeing you on the screen, because I knew if I got too far off track that you could pull me back on real quick. So thanks a lot, and look forward to seeing all of you guys soon.
All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.
Thanks, Ron. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. Good night.
Yes. Thank you very much.